What's up and welcome to the Bleav in Hornets podcast on the Bleav Podcast Network presented by Bet Online. My name is Sam. Raymond Felton is with me. Raymond, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
I can't complain. Recording this on a Monday. The Hornets play tonight against the Thunder, and we're going to talk about that. But before we get into that, you can find the show, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc. Everywhere podcasts are found. You also can catch us on Tobacco Road Sports Radio. If you have any questions for the podcast, tweet them at us, #HornetsPod. And yeah, we're going to get into a lot of cool stuff. NCAA tournament starts this week. Hornets had a big bounce back win against the Pelicans. Isaiah Thomas signed a new 10-day contract. Mason Plumlee shooting left-handed free throws. A lot of interesting stuff to get into. We're going to get into all of it today, so stay with us. We'll be right back after this break. It's that time of year again as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. If you're looking to wager this year, Bet Online is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests, including the bracket contest, where you have a chance to take home the top prize. Head over to the website betonline.ag or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. 50. Just use the promo code Bleav, BLEAV, to get started. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, so Raymond, so let's start with UNC. All right, 8 seed in this tournament. The tournament starts this week. What are your just general thoughts on where UNC seated right now, and the tournament in general?
First of all, I mean, it's always good to just be in it. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be one of those teams who either in the NIT or you're at home. So, you know, shout out to my young fellas, man, for having a good season and being in the tournament and having an opportunity to do something special. But I think it all boils down to just focus. The way you have to be locked in the tournament is another level. It's another mindset, and it's one and done. Mm-hmm. So the capability is there. You know, it's just all about the maturity and the focus that you really got to have, you know, and it takes a lot to just get away from everything and just really focus on and just winning a total of 6 games to get it all, you know what I'm saying, without losing one. But like I said, I'm proud of them. They got a great team over there, well coached, and hey, I'm going with my guys all day. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people might say, yeah, right, they have no chance, but I mean, I'm going with my boys all day. I know what type of teaching they're getting over there. So, you know, they're gonna be prepared. It's all about what they're gonna do. Because at the end of the day, the coach can't go out there and play for you. You gotta go out there and play. So we'll see what happens. Yeah,
and from your experience, your freshman year at UNC didn't make the tournament, right? Second year, 6 seed. Third year, 1 seed, won the whole thing. What was that progression like as you look back at it now in 2022? Like, what would you does that, when you get to tournament time, like what memories come back to you? And what was that experience like, even making that jump from the 6 seed to the 1 seed? Like, what was that pressure difference, if at all?
Really just growing pains, man. Really just, you know, get your feet wet. We lost to Texas that year, so it had a really good team. And really just like I said, man, getting your feet wet and really trying to understand like what it feels and what it means to be in that point, be in March Madness. So that next year, man, we just had a different level of focus, you know what I'm saying? And plus on top of that, we was very talented, but we had a different level of focus. We've been through some things together. We've been through some losses. We've been through some pain and just like tough losses, and just we've been through a lot, man. Even on and off the court, that made us closer. That made us, you know, a family. You know, we all keep in touch to this day. So, you know, we was able to go out there and do something very special that nobody can ever take from us.
And what was like the selection Sunday process, right? Like you did all the work, you do all the work all season long, and you're just waiting to see who your opponent's going to be so you can start preparing. Like what goes into that from your point of view?
Just the whole selection, man. You all get together, you just hanging around, and then, sure your name being called, and, you just get all excited. It's just a different feeling that you can't explain, man. And then, once you see who you have to play, now it's time to go to work. It's time to watch film. It's time to watch who your matchup is, and just locking in, getting ready.
Excellent. Yeah. The tournament starts later this week. I gave up on filling out brackets a long time ago. The best I ever finished was I think third. I think I got my money back, like just enough to get my money back,
Right.
So I'm on your listen. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm rooting for you. My college ain't in it, so let's go UNC.
All right, appreciate it.
But I'll be watching though. We have some interesting players. I'm an NBA fan more than a college basketball fan because the Hornets, obviously. So, the Hornets are in a weird spot anyway because the Hornets can go from having 2 first-round draft picks or none, depending on how the Pelicans finish and how the Hornets finish. So when you kind of look at, you can't even properly scout as a Hornets fan right now because you don't know who will kind of be there if the Hornets even have a shot at drafting anybody in the first round. So we'll see what happens. But I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. Speaking of the Hornets, right now they're a 10 seed, half game behind Atlanta, 3 games above the Wizards. So some cushion there. Firm 10 seed at the moment. They play tonight, so that will change, hopefully. We'll see though. It's late morning, early afternoon on a Monday. So depending on when you listen to this, it may change a little bit. But that just for frame reference for everyone out there. Real quick. So I wanted to talk to you about being on the cover of March Madness 2006. Before we get into the Hornets talk, before we leave college, I want to talk to you about that. What was that process like? So Raymond Felton is the cover athlete for EA Sports NCAA March Madness 2006 on the Xbox era. What was that like? What are your memories of that? And did you play the game?
Yeah, I did. I played the game for sure. Man, listen, that was like so real to me. It was like a dream come true. Man, a kid grew up playing video games, and I'm actually on the cover of one. It was just like, is this really life, And I don't know, man. It was just one of those things when my agent called me. He was like, man, they want to do a deal with you. I'm like, yes, sign me up now. Like, yes, let's do it. But nah, man, it was just one of those moments when, I just give all the thanks to God, man, just all the blessings and just, being in a situation where the kid grew up where I grew up at, as small as the town as it was, and just the adversities and different things I had to go through just to accomplish something like that, man, that I can look back and show my kids, like, look, your dad was on a video game. That's something that's just amazing, man. I have to give like I said just a second ago, I got to give all the thanks to God, man, for all those things like that, man, because it was something that I would have never imagined. I would have never thought I would have been on the cover of a video game. So, it was amazing, man. I promise you that's something that I look at sometimes now, even I walk past it, I'm like, dang, I was on the cover of a video game, man. That's crazy. But yeah, it was a blessing for sure.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's really cool. That era of college. Now, college video games are a thing of the past at the moment.
Yeah.
I assume with the NIL deal.
They need to bring it back.
Exactly.
They need to bring it back.
Those games are really cool.
I was a bucket getter on there. They had me super fast. They had me super hype. I was like a 90. It might have been a 99 overall. Man, I was getting buckets. No,
whether it was that or NBA Live, or I don't know if 2K was around when you first entered the league, but yeah, especially when you're a pro, like I was trading for you all the time. So like I was trying to get you on every team, like in like franchise mode, whatever. I was trading for Raymond Felton on a regular basis.
Appreciate it.
No, yeah, I got you. All right, cool. Yeah, I wanted to touch on that because I saw it online. I was like, oh my God, I had this game, and like I got to talk to you about it. So thank you for that.
No
so going back to the Hornets, like I mentioned, 10 seed, some cushion above the Hawks, above the Wizards right now, half game behind the Hawks. Since we last recorded, the They've lost to the Nets. The Hornets lost to the Nets. They lost to the Celtics, and they beat the Pelicans. So on the upswing, avoiding a losing streak. They're playing the Thunder tonight. They travel to OKC either yesterday or the day before to get some work in, which is nice because they're not flying in day of and hitting the court because they had the weekend off, no game. So that allowed hopefully some time to rest and recuperation. Raymond, when you have that time off going into a game, traveling ahead of time, what's that do? Like, I expect the team to be fresh and focused and relaxed going into this, but it's not always the case, right?
No, you can't really do that, man. Like, it's crunch time, so it's really not really no time off. I mean, you can give yourself a day, let your body rest, let your body kind of like, just relax a little bit. But really, even if you don't have practice, you gotta get in the gym, get some shots up, get a workout in. You gotta keep that thing going, man, because you're playing for something. And you lost 2 games, kind of put you behind. Atlanta won, their last 2 or 3 games, maybe 3. Now they're in the 9th seed. Now you move down to the 10th seed. So, it's just one of those things where, you don't want to keep sliding. You gotta keep working. So, hopefully those guys, really got in the gym and still got some shots up and still, got some work in no matter what, even if they did have some time off.
And I don't want to disparage any city, in the country, but they've had, let's see here. So yeah, the Saturday, Sunday. I don't know when they arrived in Oklahoma City, but we hear,
they probably got there yesterday.
Probably yesterday, yeah.
You used to go the day before.
There's sometimes you hear stories about teams with time off going into a city, certain cities. OKC doesn't seem to be one of those cities. I mean, sure, there's plenty of fun things to do, but it's not Miami, it's not Toronto. You know what I mean? Is there a level to that? Is that a myth? Like, do players treat different cities differently when it comes to like time off? Like, you get your work in, obviously, you do your job, but like when it comes to like free time, like how do you kind of balance that? And does it depend on the city you're in?
It really don't matter, man. It's all about being a professional. You know what you can take, what you can tolerate, what your body can, withstand. So, just really understanding yourself, because I would never tell nobody not to go to a city and not enjoy themselves, because I did it, but, I was a person who never drink, I don't smoke, I don't do none of those things. So, me going out is me just going out to get out of the room, just to get out and see the town for a little bit, and I'm back in my room. You know what I'm saying? Well, never really on nothing else like that. Find me a casino because I like to play poker. I go to a casino, play poker for a few hours, and I'm back at the room. So, it's just one of those things where you just gotta be professional. That's all. It all boils down to that, man. Just be professional. Know who you are, understanding your body, and knowing what you can tolerate. So if you can't go out and not have a good game the next day, then don't go out. Get you something to eat, stay in your room. But if you're one of those guys who can go out, have a good time, and go out there and get buckets, then enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things, man. But, does it make a difference in certain cities? Yeah, it does. It really do. You can't sit here and say, oh, man, I'm going to Miami. Be like, oh, I'm going to Utah. I mean, it's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's still an NBA city. So no matter what, there's still things to do.
Yeah, and speaking of OKC, you played 2 years there, right?
2 years, yep.
I know, like, everyone has, like, like the way that the team arrived in Oklahoma City is not the fan base's fault, and how they left Seattle. I've never been to Oklahoma City in general, but like you could tell like during the stretch before they started like this rebuild period, the fan base was really into it. Like they're really embracing the team. What was that fan base like? Like, what are your memories of playing for that fan base?
It's probably one of the best fan bases in the NBA. Like, they are really there. Like, every night is like rocking. It's like a college game. I feel like I was at Carolina when I played there. Like, it was just crazy. It was loud. Like, they really follow their Thunder basketball there. So it was by far one of the best cities to play in because, they really get behind their team. It was nothing but amazing, man. You would have fans when we about to take off. They out there by the planes, like right by the gates and stuff before we drive in. They'd be there. We'd come in. I don't care, man. It could be 2 a.m. There'd be people at the gates waiting on us, telling us congratulations. Like, Oh, if we lose, oh yeah, get them next time. Like it didn't matter. They were just always there, man. And it was just amazing, man. So shout out to the Thunder fans over there in Oklahoma, man.
Yeah, it's really special. Like you got, Oklahoma City, San Antonio cities with only the one professional team. So like it really galvanizes things, right? That's really cool.
Yeah, the only thing they had down there was Sooner football for real.
Yeah,
that was their probably their number one thing out there was like Sooner football. Like that's the next thing after Thunder basketball. What that city goes crazy for. I'm telling you.
All right, cool. So moving on to some just other team news. Isaiah Thomas, he's staying around. Signed another a second 10-day contract with the team. The Hornets they're maxed out with him. So at the end of this 10 days, he'll either leave or they'll sign him outright for the remainder of the season or maybe beyond. I don't know. He's been very vocal about wanting to be around, be here, work with LaMelo. About LaMelo, this is from Rod Boone. These are quotes from Rod Boone in The Observer. Isaiah told Rod that he, being LaMelo, is going to be the face of the league. He's already an all-star. Give him 2 or 3 years. He's going to be a top 5, top 10 in this league easily. He's a special talent. So you can really tell like he wants to take him under his wing. He says as much. He goes on to say, my job while I'm here is to have him focused, him being LaMelo, focused on taking every possession seriously and leading this team. Even though he's only 19, 20 years old, he has the ball in his hands a lot. He has to be able to take that responsibility of leading guys, even if it's not vocal, just by how he plays. And then he congratulated him for the job he did on the night when they played the Pelicans in New Orleans. All the right things, right? Exactly what we kind of talked about, that mindset when you have that veteran with LaMelo.
I've been watching him, and it's one of those things too. Like I would definitely do that if I was there, if I was still playing. Like really take him up on my wing and like kind of do what Brandon Knight did to me when I got to Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? Just really teach him how to be professional, teach him how to be a point guard. And it's not about dribbling the basketball. It's about so many other things that will help him dribble that basketball. So I look at a lot of positions with him. He's very talented. He's a kid. I totally agree with Isaiah that, next 5 years, he's going to be considered one of the top 5, 10 players in this NBA. But with him being so young, he still has a lot of that young basketball in him. I see some of the plays he makes, some of the moves and dribbles that he makes with passes he does. Like he takes a lot of chances, when sometimes, simplifying it would be a whole lot better. But that's just all about him maturing, him getting older, him playing the NBA game a whole lot longer. And the sky's the limit for this kid. He's very talented, man. And just for a guy like Isaiah, who, at one point his career was a top tier point guard, a guy that you didn't want to see, when he was in Boston. You didn't want to see Isaiah Thomas, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely somebody he can learn from, definitely somebody who's been at that level, of an all-star and playing at a high level at a big franchise place. And I think he can really help LaMelo. So I really do hope they keep him on, because you need veterans like that with a young team like this, that they would actually listen to him and really listen to what he has to say. So I hope Charlotte does the right thing and actually keep him.
Yeah, and he's been playing well too. Like it's not just like a veteran presence. Like he's been
That's what I'm about to
contributing
say. He really can play still. So and it ain't like you just keeping him on, just an old guy just to have him around the locker room. This guy can really still give buckets. So you got the best of both worlds with him. So like I said, I hope they keep him on. And
we saw last year, it's on the idea of mentorship. Last year, LaMelo's rookie year, Bismack Biyombo was next to him all the time, right? Every opportunity he had, he had his arm around LaMelo talking to him. It was pretty clear, like watching from a distance, that was his veteran, on the team. Biz left in the offseason, and so it was kind of the question was like, who's going to do that, who wants to do it? So I think we're here now, I think, and I'm excited to see what happens the rest of the way. Definitely need everyone locked in the rest of the way to at least solidify the playing spot at this point. I think we're okay. I think at this pace, because we're gonna talk about Hayward in a second. Got some interesting Hayward news But once the team gets fully healthy, I think we should be all right. Should be okay. Mason Plumlee, all right, shot a left-hand free throw. Okay, you went 1 for 1 from the line, 100%. You take those, right? No complaints whatsoever. What do you make of him shooting a left-handed free throw? I want to see more of it personally. If it works, it works.
Right.
He's like around 30% with the right hand this year.
Right.
I mean, he can't do really worse, so why not? You know?
Hey, listen, if he's 30% right-handed and he's 100% left-handed, then I think we should go left-handed.
Yeah.
But nah, hey, man, whatever works. You know, that's one of those things, you know, it's like Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson shot left-handed for a long time, and now he changed his shot to a right hand. So, you know, if you're a guy that can do both, then if it works better with the left hand, then shoot it. Shoot it. I don't care what it is, as long as that percentage goes up.
Yeah, man. This next game is away. I really wish it was at home because I think the fan base in Charlotte would lose their minds if they saw, like, in a good way. Like, I think the roof would blow off the place if Mason goes like 2 for 2 from the free throw line with left hand free throw shots. Like, I hope when they host Atlanta in a few days, I hope he's still doing it because we only saw the 1 free throw attempt on the night. So knock on wood, we can see more of that. So with Hayward, this kind of last thing, Hornets news wise. According to Rod Boone, Gordon Hayward he's been out of the walking boot for like a week or so. He's getting up shots. He's still progressing. Next step is live action. So, and that could happen in the next few days or few weeks. Still taking it slowly, but we're getting closer. We're getting closer. So what do you make of like this Hayward's kind of progression as he nears a return? Because like he's been out, he'll be out for about a month, probably all said and done, maybe 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. When it comes to coming back and getting involved again, making sure your lungs are good, making sure your legs are good again, like that. What's that process like without risking a regression?
It's tough. It's tough. You know, it's just one of those things where you got to really trust, you know, that you are fully healthy, that you know, can still be out there and be yourself with the injury you're just coming off of. So getting that confidence back in that aspect, and then getting that conditioning that you really need, because you can do all the conditioning in the world, stay in shape, do all of that. Then you get on that basketball court, run up and down 1 or 2 times, you feel like you're dead. Yeah. So it's a different level of conditioning from playing than just riding the bike or being on a treadmill or doing all that stuff. It's just a totally different thing. So yes, it's going to take him some time to really get in the flow of that. So hopefully we can get him back here pretty soon where he can go live and play some a little bit, you know, in practice, and then get a few games in before they do go into the playing games, into the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, OKC tonight, and then we got the Hawks Wednesday, which I think will be it's a playoff game. It's a playoff game in March. You know,
that's a big game.
It's a huge game.
It's a big game.
And you know, Atlanta can be ready for that.
No question.
They called us earlier in January, January, end of January, 113-91 here in Charlotte. So coming off the Thunder, like, but they handle their business tonight against the Thunder. They can make up ground against Atlanta. Is that the right phrase? Make up ground? Yeah, make up ground. That is the right phrase.
Yeah, make up ground.
It's supposed to. It didn't sound right coming out of my mouth, but yeah, that's a phrase. I didn't make that up. Yeah. They can make up ground against Atlanta, and then they got Dallas after that. So there's an opportunity to go on a little win streak if it all falls into place against a really tough Dallas team that's really turned the corner, and then a rematch versus the Pelicans. So
Dallas is playing well. They play Dallas at home.
Yeah, here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also on NBA TV. So a little national TV love for the Hornets. I think it's the last scheduled one the rest of the way, I think, unless the final game of the season, which could have some stakes to it, April 10th against the Wizards. That's how they end the year. So that could be a really important game depending on how the lead up to that game goes.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
And yeah, so which is weird, man. The Wizards got off to such a great start to the season, 1 seed at one point, and then Bucks were hurt, Sixers were hurt, like, so everything kind of settled in later in. But yeah, no, listen, I'm interested to see how this team responds and keeps the positivity going, and hopefully they handle the business tonight against OKC. So any closing thoughts before we say goodbye?
Nah, man, not for me, man. Just I hope those young boys really just, like I said, lock in, man. These last few games, stay in the gym, just continue to work on your craft, get shots up, work on your body, stay in the weight room, keep those bones strong, and go make a real strong push. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get into this playing games and go ahead and just go and surprise, not even surprise somebody. Go ahead and give somebody an upset. To me, it's not an upset because I think Charlotte has a really good team. They're just young and, still finding themselves and still learning how to win. So they're gonna be one of the top 5 teams in the East in the near future. So as long as these guys stay together, and I think MJ and those guys, Mitch Kupchak and them over there, I think they'll keep them. They'll keep all those guys together because I think those guys really gel with one another. So we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, thank you so much, Raymond. Thank you out there for listening to the Bleav in Hornets podcast on the Bleav Podcast Network, presented by Bet Online. We'll see you next week. Peace.